Hey, it's Chris and Brian here. Today, we're going to give a little bit of information on a new product that Microsoft has pushed out. It's called Microsoft 365 Backup. We've been waiting for this because we're running into situations with clients sometimes where most of the clients have some sort of backup for Microsoft 365, whether it's an on-premise box or a cloud-to-cloud backup that isn't Microsoft. That's our preference. But in a situation where, they want to keep everything in the Microsoft ecosystem, this is a great add-on that clients can put in for backing up things like SharePoint, their email, and Teams, right?
Yeah.
And also OneDrive. So Chris has pulled it up on the screen, but one of the things you must be aware of is by default, Microsoft doesn't do any sort of backup where you can pull something out of the deleted items from 30, 60 days ago. They do have their data center backups, but they don't care if you suddenly are missing something from 60 days ago. They're not going to be able to get it back for you unless you use a product like this or some third party like we're using. So this gives you retention. I believe it's up to a year of retention. And there are a bunch of options in there, but Chris is just going to give you a high level overview of how this works. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. So Brian mentioned some of the key features. They also mentioned express restore points, you know, to restore your data faster. You granular restore, you want to restore, I don't know, a deleted email from accidental deletion. You could quickly do that in a matter of minutes all through the Microsoft Admin Center. So they're just kind of pulling you in everything in one hub. They also have the pricing at what, 15 cents a gigabyte a month, which is, competitive with some of the other third-party options out there. And then they also have this walkthrough. So if we go here into this tab, this is the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. They go to set up the Microsoft backup. First, select which application. So they're recommending we do SharePoint here. You click that, you get some policy attributes, where you can back up frequency, the retention Brian mentioned in 1 year. Click next. You can choose a scope. So I guess this is something like if you want to select only one SharePoint site or multiple SharePoint sites, and you can also import from a CSV as well. It can, add some rules in there. So yeah, this thing's pretty granular here.
Yeah.
That's pretty much of they pretty much walk you through. So it's just like anything else in Microsoft 365. You got all these. It looks like it's going to have its own Microsoft 365 backup admin center within there.
Yeah. So again, OneDrive, SharePoint, Teams, email, right? All your email, your Exchange stuff. Exchange
Yeah.
is all your email stuff, your calendars, all that sort of stuff. So we do this right now with third-party apps, right? Which work in a similar fashion, but maybe the pricing is a little bit better on the Microsoft 365 backup and you want to go with that instead, or you just want to keep it all with Microsoft because you favor Microsoft over the other third parties. There's pluses and minuses for all three ways of doing it, but we do all three ways. We don't really care what you use out of those three. If you want the on-premise, fine. If you want the third party, fine. If you want the Microsoft, fine. But the key is Microsoft is not backing up your stuff, right? It's right in their licensing. They're not going to be able to go back. I lost a document, a Word document in my OneDrive from, 45 days ago. Well, with something like this, you can pull it back out, right? But if you don't have this or a third party or an on-premise system, you're flying blind. You can't call up Microsoft and get it back. It's just not going to work that way. So is there anything else that you want to mention, Chris, before we wrap it up?
Yeah, so I believe this will be coming in preview, so it won't be like a full-fledged release right away. I didn't see where they said here if they gave a date. The preview will begin rolling out in early 2024. That's all we got.
Okay. So we haven't actually tested it out yet, but we have seen videos on it.
Yeah.
We like where they're going with this. Again, we don't care what the client uses, but they just need to understand that it's not currently being backed up unless you
Oh,
use,
they give us times too, by the way. So like 1,000 sites, 30 gig average per site. They're saying restore completes in less than 1 hour, and then all of them within less than 12 hours. And then
right.
1,000 mailboxes, first full container restore would be in an hour, and then all of them in 12 hours. So that's
Okay,
not
so
that bad.
you even get your ballpark, ETA on how long it takes to back this stuff up. Because when you do your backup plan, like when we do a backup plan, we keep that in mind, and it's good to know, like, hey, look, this stuff's in the cloud. It's going to take XYZ time versus on-premise equipment, which happens obviously a lot faster. Okay, we're going to end it there, Chris. Thanks a lot for your time. Appreciate you showing us this.
Yep, have a good one.
You too.